The diversity of women's experience zone of the first things we need to say and really believe is this: every woman's body is different, and nowhere is that more clear than in how women experience touch, especially on the nipples. For some women, nipple stimulation feels incredibly pleasurable, even powerful, like it lights up something deep inside. For others, it feels neutral, nothing special, and for some, it can even feel uncomfortable or irritating. And here's the truth you need to hear: none of these reactions are wrong. They are not signs that something is broken or that you're missing something. They simply reflect the very personal spectrum of how your body and mind connect. Think about it. We all carry different histories, emotions, and even moments in time that shape what we feel. Have you ever noticed how the same touch can feel amazing one day and almost unwelcome another? That's not failure, it's just you being human. So today, as we talk about this, I invite you to stop comparing yourself to anyone else or even to who you used to be. This part of you is allowed to feel whatever it feels. And that's a powerful place to begin. Asterisk biology meets psychology. No, let's go a little deeper, because what you feel isn't just about your skin. It's also about your mind, your memories, and your heart. Biologically, the nipples are one of the most sensitive areas on a woman's body. They're packed with nerve endings, more than in many other parts of the skin, and they send signals directly to the brain. Neuroscience even shows that nipple stimulation lights up the same parts of the brain as genital stimulation does. So the potential for pleasure here runs much deeper than the surface. But here's the catch: just because the body is capable of pleasure doesn't mean it always feels that way. Why? Because over time, many women develop complicated feelings about this part of their body. Maybe it started during puberty, when shame or secrecy wrapped around your chest. Maybe years of hiding, nursing children, or worrying about how others see you shifted your focus away from how you feel. Maybe someone once made a careless comment that stuck. The point is, our bodies don't just carry nerves. They carry stories, and those stories can interrupt the connection between what you're capable of feeling and what you actually allow yourself to feel. So if you felt numb, detached, or confused about your own reactions, know this: you're not broken, you're human, and your story can change. Asterisk the role of age and hormone as another layer to this story is how much our bodies change over time, and that includes the nipples. Hormones play a huge role in how sensitive this area feels, and those hormones shift during menstruation, pregnancy, breastfeeding, and especially menopause. Some women notice that their nipples feel much more tender or even overly sensitive at certain times of the month. Others find that after menopause, they feel less sensation or, surprisingly, even more. There's no right or wrong here. It's simply your body responding to the natural rhythms of life. And yet, we so often judge ourselves harshly for those changes, don't we? We think, why don't I feel the way I used to? Did I lose something? Am I broken? But the truth is, these changes don't mean the end of pleasure. They're just invitations to discover what feels good for you now when you stop comparing yourself to how you were at 20 or 30 and start paying attention to what your body is asking for today. You open the door to a new kind of connection, one that's kinder, wiser, and much more in tune with who you've become. Asterisk how touch and connection shape sensitive ether. Something fascinating and often overlooked. The same touch can feel completely different depending on how it's given. Have you ever noticed that when someone touches you without presence, rushed, distracted, or just going through the motions, it can feel uncomfortable, even invasive? But when that same touch is slow, intentional, and full of care, it can awaken feelings you didn't even realize were still there. That's because sensitivity isn't just physical, it's psychological. It depends on how safe you feel in the moment, how emotionally connected you are, and whether you're truly present in your own body. So many women, especially in long-term relationships, get used to enduring touch instead of enjoying it. But it doesn't have to be that way. A single, thoughtful hand, grounded in love and respect, can remind your body what it's capable of feeling. So ask yourself, When was the last time you allowed yourself to slow down, to actually feel each sensation instead of bracing for what comes next? Because your body remembers, and with patience, it can come alive again in ways that surprise you. Asterisk, the power of communication and self-discovery, one of the most important and often hardest steps in reconnecting with your body is simply this: talk about it. So many women hesitate to say what feels good or what doesn't, because they don't want to hurt their partner's feelings, or they've been taught to stay quiet about their own pleasure. But silence creates confusion, and over time, it can create distance, not just between you and your partner, but between you and yourself. When you start speaking up, gently, honestly, something beautiful happens. The performance stops, the guessing stops, and what takes its place is a new kind of intimacy, real, rooted in trust and curiosity instead of pressure or fear. This doesn't just apply with a partner, though. It begins with you. Spend time exploring your own body. Notice what brings you comfort or excitement. Give yourself permission to say, "This feels good," or "I'd like to try something different." Because that kind of honesty is not weakness, it's strength. It's how you reclaim your body, not just as something to look at, but as a home you actually want to live in. Asterisk, self-acceptance and healing. No, let's talk about something deeper. Self-acceptance and healing. Over the years, many women carry quiet shame or self-consciousness about their breasts and nipples. Maybe someone made a careless remark long ago. Maybe scars, sagging, or surgeries have made you feel less than. Or maybe you've just gotten used to ignoring this part of yourself because it felt easier than feeling disappointed. But here's what I've learned and what science confirms: the way you talk to yourself about your body matters. When you stand in front of the mirror, do you see flaws first, or do you see a story? Breasts that fed children, survived pain, carried you through decades of life. Healing often starts small. It can look like simply touching yourself with kindness, maybe a gentle massage before bed, or looking at yourself and saying, "You're still mine, you're still worthy." Your body is not just a vessel of functional beauty, it's a home, and like any home, it deserves care, attention, and love, even if it's been neglected for years. You don't need to fix yourself to deserve pleasure. You already deserve it, just as you are. Asterisk, the cultural story around your body. And here's something many of us don't even realize: the way we feel about our nipples and our bodies in general isn't just personal, it's also cultural. From the time we're young, we're bombarded with mixed messages. In magazines and movies, breasts are celebrated, even worshipped, but only if they look a certain way. At the same time, we're told to cover up, to feel shame, to treat this part of ourselves as something dirty or inappropriate. Is it any wonder so many women feel disconnected? We're taught to see our bodies not as our own, but as something to be judged, controlled, or performed with. But here's the truth: your body does not exist for someone else's approval. It doesn't have to fit a standard to deserve care, attention, and pleasure. When you start seeing your nipples and all of you as a natural, worthy, and deeply personal part of your story, you take back power from those old messages. The more you unlearn what society has told you, the freer you become to explore what you actually feel, want, and need. And that freedom, that quiet rebellion, is a beautiful step toward wholeness. Asterisk, so here's what I hope you take away from this today: your body is not broken, your pleasure is not over, and your nipples, whether they feel everything, nothing, or something in between, are still a part of your story. They may carry scars, memories, or misunderstandings, but they are yours, and only you get to decide what they mean now. Not society, not the past, not anyone else. Pleasure isn't about perfection. It isn't about being young, looking a certain way, or reacting on someone else's timeline. It's about feeling alive in your own skin and giving yourself permission to explore, to change, and to reconnect. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are exactly where you need to be to discover something new about yourself and to love yourself in a deeper, more powerful way. If this video gave you something to think about, if it helped you feel seen, or reminded you that your body still deserves attention and care, then you're in the right place. Subscribe now and join this growing community of thoughtful, brave people who are ready to see beyond the surface. Leave a comment below, share your thoughts, or even just say hello. And don't forget to like and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. We're just getting started, and I'd love for you to be part of this journey. There comes a time in life when the questions we ask ourselves start to change. You stop just wondering about love, aging, or even your body's appearance, and you start quietly asking deeper, more personal questions. Have you ever caught yourself wondering, what really brings me joy now? How does my body truly respond when no one is watching? For many women, especially after 50, one of these unspoken questions circles around pleasure, and not just pleasure with someone else, but the kind that comes from feeling at home in your own skin. In this video, we're going to explore one of the most overlooked and misunderstood parts of that conversation, the sensitivity of the nipples. You might not hear this topic talked about at family dinners or in glossy magazines, but the truth is, it holds surprising insights, not just about your biology, but about your emotions, your history, and the quiet ways you've learned to relate to your own body. So stay with me. We're about to uncover the hidden connection between nipple sensitivity, pleasure, psychology, and the way women come to truly know themselves at any age.